This is Boxing Tickets, and we are delighted to join once again with the Kingdom Warrior Kevin Cronin and his trusty mascot Brody.
It's not Brody. It's a different one. It's a different one since we were talking 30 seconds ago.
There
What's
we
the
go.
story?
There's me trying to be smart. People saying, "Oh, there we go. This guy knows his stuff. He even knows their animals, and it's a different dog." Just to let me down. What do you call this one then?
Parker. Parker.
It's Parker.
Uh, long time no chat.
It is funny. Since we obviously last spoke, you obviously boxed in America. I guess the last time we spoke, you'd obviously signed the Conlan boxing with Michael Conlan managing you. You've had obviously your American dream now, your American debuts out of the way. Um, Probably from watching it and sort of looking back, like people had maybe looked at Patrick Pierre's record and was sort of, you know, as people do sometimes, you see a fighter's record and it doesn't tell the tale. Like in America, you don't. There is no journeyman, and it sort of showed in the fight because Patrick Pierre was happy to nearly have a phone box war at times, just happy just to go to the trenches, and you finally broke him down in the fourth round. I think the referee decided that to probably let him live to fight another day rather than getting a heavy knockdown.
Yeah. It was actually his corner threw in the towel. Yeah, I see that in the video of the fight. You can't see his corner, but it was the corner threw in the towel. The ref looks over at the towel and then waves it off. So it was the corner stopped the fight. But yeah, it was kind of coming. It was getting to that stage. You could see. Well, we knew the shot I was looking for because we were working on that shot, and I was just falling short with it. But I had gotten to the ropes. I think was it 3 times in that little spell, let's say, and I landed the first one just not clean. I just fell short with the second one, and the ref waved it off just as I was going in with the third. I think that actually the same combination because I could see it was starting to frustrate him. But yeah, look, he was tough. He gave it a good go like that. I don't look too much at records because who I was fighting is who I was fighting, and the other side of it is he was giving it a go. Like we watched a few videos of him, and there was a fight. I think it might have been before mine, and he got caught with. Wasn't really a big shot or anything, but I was saying he's said he definitely it was a dive. I definitely think it was a dive. Anyway, it looked like he just took a dive and got out of the fight. But yeah, we were talking to him after. He was a very nice fella. He said it as well. He said I said I came here, John, to give it a go. He said I thought I'd get you if I just came and tried shocking you, John. This people be looking at my record, and he did. He came out swinging, and he was you could see even at points he was trying to set something up, like he was throwing the jab to the body and all that. And it was I wouldn't say it was unusual because obviously in sparring and stuff these things happen, but it was a bit unexpected. It was like, is this fella following the game plan? What's going on here? It's like you just have to reevaluate everything really quick. And but it was a good experience. Yeah, like it was a good experience. He was a tough dude, a good dude. Got the win, got the stoppage, performed well. What more can I do?
I think from memory, I think that's your sixth different country you've boxed in nine fights. Like you're sort of, quite obviously a lot of boxers now obviously get fights, all over the place. Obviously Tommy Hyde sort of been through every state in America, sort of at the moment he's sort of everywhere. Like I guess when you probably first started out, obviously as a pro, like I know obviously in amateur boxing and everything else, you can be in different countries every month nearly in some ways. Like, did you obviously know that that's your sixth country you fought in?
No, I didn't. I didn't until you said it to me there earlier. Didn't have a clue, to be honest. I knew I'd fought in a few countries, but I wasn't counting them or anything. But yeah, when you went through them, like listing them after me, I was like, Jesus, some fighters go their whole career and not even see that many countries. And I've done in less than 10 fights. Going into my 10th fight in my next fight. So yeah, happy days, Alex. Again, that's that's a big part of the learning curve too. Going to different countries, different foods while you're cutting weight, trying to make weight, trying to refuel with all these different foods in different countries. So like that, I can just take an experience from all of these. And luckily, I've gotten to all these countries. John never lost in any of them, John, until the Jamie fight. So yeah, happy days. I'm sure all that experience will be very valuable now coming when I progress on and get into bigger fights and maybe traveling to the likes of America or hopefully Saudi where the money is, you know, and cutting weight and all that. So yeah, good experience.
Obviously, you've been doing a countdown, sort of. You know, I think you've been probably people nearly thought it was coming up to Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or something like that, or like the countdown days to Christmas. Um, Probably, I guess people sort of knew the countdown, and probably ones only close to you sort of knew. But obviously, I was allowed to be the one to break the news last night that your 10th pro fight in 11 days' time is going to be at the Liverpool Olympia. Your 10th different venue as well. Like, you haven't boxed in the same venue twice. Like, do you get barred from these venues? You can't come back again, or as I say, it's just the opportunities come in different places.
They just don't like me. Get out of here and don't come back.
Well, I think that's why you've only boxed in Belfast once, because your license was revoked. You're not allowed back in Belfast to fight. But like your 10th different venue, Liverpool Olympia is obviously it's a probably in similar ways to York Hall you fought on before, where it's obviously it's steeped in history. I think it's sort of like an opera sort of theatre sort of as well, sometimes as well. So because they obviously tick off another venue there as well as countries.
Yeah, I looked up the venue. I think it's definitely going to be the nicest when I fought in just looking at the pictures and the videos. And it looks like you say an opera theatre. The way the seating is, the way it's circled around, it's a really cool looking place. And I think if it was a place, let's say if it was in Ireland and I was selling a couple hundred tickets going up to fight in a theatre like that in Dublin, let's say, I think it would be absolutely electric with the crowd. Now, no doubt it'll be electric in the night, you know, full of everyone from Liverpool and England and stuff. And I only have a small bunch going over myself because by the time I even got to announce the fight, it's sold out. Like, you know, it's completely sold out. But like, I think it'll be very loud in there. Now I don't know where I'll be on the card. Like that, I don't mind. Again, I'm just happy to be going in there getting my first fight. And well, I fought in TG and the TG4 card in my debut, but my first proper fight in television, and well, be the Boxing Social card as well. But this is my first one live on, would you say, a major platform? DAZN is probably, would it be the most major platform for boxing out there now?
It pretty much is
Outside
like
of,
it's like a catalog sort of a boxing. Now, obviously, I know that there's only they aren't just working with Matchroom now. They're working with Conlan Boxing. They're working with GBM Sports. They're working with Wasserman. They seem to be working with everything all over. It's like a new version of sort of what Box Nation was back in the day. Even Sky Sports come back a good few years, where they went down different promoters rather than being stuck to one. Just means that everybody gets a slice of the pie rather than just certain fighters getting on a certain platform.
yeah, like and get my opportunity. And realistically, it's DAZN. If you don't perform well, they probably won't even want you back on it. Like, you know, I'm sure they have a say in new fights in these cards too. So I'm obviously going to be out here to impress. Like I went, like your man in fighting is tough, very tough. He's strong. He he looks like he punches very hard. I'd say, looking at some of the videos of him. But like that, this is my opportunity to make a little statement. Just put in an absolute best performance I possibly can, and I want him, Joe, maybe even talking to the Conlans after saying, "Oh, who is he, Joe? I want to get him on again." And stuff. That's what I want. Like I want to progress in my career. I want him thinking, "Geez, wouldn't you love to see with him with the likes of Caleb Plant or someone?" That's the road I want to go down. I want to start getting. Obviously, it's too soon to be hitting names like that. You know, I've got fights in front of me now, and probably 2 fights now that can't take my eyes off. So, but yeah, definitely coming into next year, I want to start hitting some bigger names and be able to shout names like that from the Zealands maybe next summer after.
Obviously, it probably comes as your former opponent, the guy that's obviously has given you your first loss of pro. Like you and obviously Jamie, 2023 probably couldn't see enough of each other. He's probably sick of each other. He's seen each other that much. Obviously, he's shared 18 rounds together, 8 in Belfast, 10 in Galway last April. He's obviously both appearing in separate fights in the card. obviously for me, obviously as the sort of fan of the sport and obviously keeping close eye, is there a reason sort of behind that? Like it seems to be obviously now, I guess that Kerry doesn't seem there's going to be next for you afterwards. Was that the sort of plan that the two is going to warm up on Liverpool and then potentially had the trilogy fight? Or obviously am I just thinking way beyond the lines of obviously what was happening?
Yeah, so in my head, that's what's happening. Like, as in, have I? Do you know what? I wouldn't even call it a warm up fight. I gotta keep my eyes on him because, like, he does, as I said, this fella punches hard. Like, the videos we popped up and we've seen him dropping a few people, so I definitely can't overlook it. But yeah, it was definitely get the win in Liverpool. August 10th, Kerry was meant to be. Um, so that was kind of the plan, the zone in Kerry. Um, Big breakout night, I guess you could say it was going to be, but it won't be in Kerry on August 10th now. So it's going to be pushed back to be honest, I don't know when. Hopefully, maybe closer to the winter, but like that, just get the job done in Liverpool. And yeah, I want that fight next because I don't want to be waiting around. I was on the phone to Jamie Conlan last week, and I said to him, I said, just don't want to be waiting around for that fight. So I don't want to, when these fights that just drags out. I want to right the wrong, get in there. You know, the winner of the fight moves on. The loser has to go back on whatever building stage they have to do. But like, I moves in confidence right now, you know, and it's not just because of all the stoppage wins lately or anything like that. It's just what's been going on behind the scenes and how well things have been going. And like I said to you earlier, I have a nutritionist, John O'Connor, on board now, and he's just like, I'm shocked the changes that have been made to the way I perform just by having a nutritionist on board. Like, it's been 8 weeks now, and it's just unbelievable.
Picking this back up with Kevin, obviously, unfortunately, these things happen and dogs bark, and we just obviously have to let the dog out to play rather than obviously having to listen to us too. But you were sort of mentioning there, obviously, the last 8 weeks, you've had a nutritionist and stuff on board. I just want to sort of go back a wee bit, Kevin, for you. Obviously, when you're sort of getting that news that Kerry obviously isn't going to be in August, obviously in your head, like I guess you're probably well aware that things can't happen for certain reasons sometimes in the sport. Like, are you have you sort of had a period where you're sort of dejected, where you're building up to this, or because of obviously what's happened the last few years with COVID and obviously the September card with Craig McCarthy falling through, like you're mentally prepared for this sort of stuff now. Whenever these things happen, you're just like, I expect them sort of to happen.
Yeah, well, look, it's like that. It's going to come days where we're going to have a few cards in Kerry. John going to be coming home headlining, and no doubt we'll be filling out stadiums here yet. So no, I wasn't dejected. Obviously, look, I was a bit disappointed because I was looking forward to the big summer show, the big sellout. You know, seeing people actually seeing what Kerry has to offer, fan wise, like so. But like that. No, because it was more right. It's not happening this day, but you're still out on this DAZN card, and look at the list of cards you have coming up. Like, you've got that Tyrone McKenna card in the SSC. You've got talk of the Crocker Paddy Donovan card. You've got talk of the Callum Walsh card. The Three Arena. I heard whispers of anyway. So like, no, it's not like I'm in a good position. I've got a team there that can get me on these cards, and there's the 2023 fight of the year there to be made for it. If the other side of the table are happy to make it, so like that, I wouldn't say it's a knockback either way. We're in for one hell of a couple of months coming up.
When you sort of, in your mind, obviously you're always going to right the wrongs with obviously the Jimmy Morrissey fight, and I think if that fight was sort of announced, people obviously can't obviously give off to a certain degree. People would say maybe would have thought that cathal Crowley fight, obviously the Cathal talked about obviously after Galway, obviously Tommy Hyde for obviously the Irish title. Like there's meaning and there's substance behind the trilogy fight. Like it's like the first fight was a classic, the second fight was a classic. They've shared 18 mental rounds. Like the trilogy fight can be nothing but as exciting as the first two were.
Yeah, yeah. Look, like that. The first two were back to back, and you saw a lot higher quality in the second one, which is what made it better. We still went to war, but it was just with more quality, um, which obviously made that the fight of the year. Um, we both took a step back. I just jumped straight into the rebuilding stage, got out in Cork a couple of weeks later, and moved down to super middleweight, and we've been rebuilding since. And like, there's a year gone now, and for me, I could progress on. Look, I have the team there now that can, right? What fight you want, Kevin? This, I don't even know who's out there as saying, what's the guy that the party fought for the world title, Liam Bunn guy, like
Bunn.
John, and just using him as an example. Like, I could say, oh, I want Liam Bunn next because I want to progress, and John, you have the team there that can go and make them fights, but I don't want to do that yet because, well, I do want to do it, but there's a little barrier in my way, and it's only in my way, it's in no one else's ways, and I have to right the wrong before I do it, because I'm not going to go on into these big fights and then come back to fix something that happened before and then try go on again. I want to just break down this barrier and just move on, and that's it. Like, so, again, it's not like there's any bad blood between me and Jamie. Everyone's seen that the first two fights, you don't need all this shite talk to make a good fight. Like, we were very respectful to each other for the two fights. You know, we chatted. There was never an issue like that. Easy fight to make, and you've seen what happened in the ring then. So it's just like, there's just people mouthing off to each other and throwing whatever across on social media to try sell a fight and make themselves a bit more popular, but the fights don't deliver. Um, but this one did. But regardless, I think we've both progressed. He's working with a new coach as well now, so like, he's definitely progressed. I know, I know how much I've progressed by just so a year down the line, I think it's a way the quality of this fight will be far, far superior. But it's again like that. Put me and Jamie in the ring 10 times, and we're just going to. It's going to come a stage where we're just going to say, you know, fuck it, and just throw it down and go to war. And I think people know that now, and it's not just a good fight anymore. It's a fight that the minute it's announced, there's going to be a lot of people there just to see that fight.
Like they give you a scenario. Like obviously Jamie won the first. Obviously there's a draw in the second, and like if you were to win the third one, then you'd have to do a fourth fight because you both have a one each and you both have a draw. Like for one of these fights that until the day he's retire, you could still keep thinking of fighting once a year.
You could say that, like, that's down. I suppose it's down to whatever way you want to look at it. As in, I think the second fight happened so easily, probably because so many people were saying I was hard done by in the first fight. And like, I wouldn't have argued a draw in the first fight, but whatever, I didn't do shit about that one anymore. And then after the second fight, it was a lot worse. You know, the backlash I got because everyone obviously thought I won. But like that, I think it just whatever. Let's do it, and the winner moves on. I think it's simple as that. We can't just put our careers on hold, keep fighting each other. Although I think people would keep paying just to see us fight each other, but again, no, it's just that fight now that I've got to get out of my system, win it, and move on. That's the way it is. Like, that was the plan for Galway, win it and move on. And we were obviously pushed back a little bit with that. The draw kind of knocked me back a bit, and I went in the rebuilding stage. And probably didn't need it, but just played the smart approach, as in, right, just finally go down super middleweight and do this. But I think, yeah, now's the time. We're in a year where boxing is absolutely booming in Ireland. Like, Matchroom are coming to Ireland, Conlan Boxing are doing his own cards here. Queensbury are now doing cards here. Like, it's things haven't been going better, and like, why not give him one of the best fights that's ever happened domestically in Ireland one last time, John, before I progress? before either of us progressed. There's no saying that I beat Jamie and Jamie can't progress from that. But yeah, whatever. Look, I'm fighting 11 days time. I can't be thinking too much in that.
You seem obviously a lot more settled, a lot more relaxed, probably than normal. Like, is obviously is a different mind frame, obviously, with yourself now. The fact that you obviously have Colin Boxing, and obviously in particular, obviously Michael Conlan, obviously managing you. Like, do you just feel more settled and relaxed now that you know that dreams and aspirations you have for yourself can become more real with them behind you? Like, is it maybe just, the sun's out, maybe you're just happier, you're 11 days out from fighting? Like, are you just in a totally different mind space now that you've sort of ticked things off that you needed to in the sport?
Definitely ain't the sun's out because I'm happy because I am hungry now. But we're only 11 days out from a fight. I'm going to be hungry for the next 10 days. Nah, look, I'm confident. That's simple. Like, I'm saying to you earlier, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and I'm a very happy fighter right now with how things are going. Um, would you say it's a cliche? A lot of fighters say they put in the best camp of their life, but genuinely, I didn't. I've had I've had good camps, but you have the bad spars in between and the flat days where you're not up firing all cylinders. I haven't had a flat day at all this camp. No, I have my nutritionist to thank for a lot for that. But the confidence it gives me, and even look, sparring and things like that, sparring guys at a very decent caliber and seeing what I can do when I actually do what I'm told in the corner and things like that, it just gives me a boost of confidence. Like, I'm losing confidence right now, and that's simply it. I think I can beat anyone in the scene. But just want to get the win now in 11 days time, get that Jamie fight over the line, and whatever after that, we'll see.
Is this your first time obviously working with a nutritionist, or have you had one before?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I've had a PT who gave me a bit of a mindset for the nutrition, but to be honest, I was good with it, but I was winging it. I was really winging it. And when I started with this nutritionist, and he said, do a few days there, tracking what I've been eating, and I done it for him, and he was just saying, like, Kevin, this is crazy, Kevin. Like, Joe, what are you doing? And he was like, you're not fueling yourself for these trainings, and you're not. There was nothing. He didn't know how I was training. He said I was running on fumes, or these are words he used, but and it's true. When he said it first, I was like, sales pitch, whatever, Joe. But no, it's a whole, like, here we are 8 weeks later, and I'm after putting in a camp with no flat spar, no flat day, no flat trainings, everything, even the small things like out and runs, hitting PBs, hitting just hitting new milestones with everything. So yeah, I'm just confident. A happy fighter, that's what I said.
So in some ways, then obviously, I guess a nutritionist sometimes comes in and, like, you're probably in a calorie deficit sort of times, and that's why you're obviously running in fumes. So he's probably got you eating more, probably eating the better food sort of for you as well. And you're sort of going, how can I make weight with this? But there's a science behind it, obviously, that you're obviously you're a professional boxer, sort of, you're not a nutritionist, but you're sort of going, can I still make weight with this? And they say the weight's probably flying off you because of that.
Yeah. I'm nearly on weight, John. I'm nearly on weight. I think I'll be on weight fight week without having to get in bats, anything like that. Um, like, obviously, I'm not going for the super middleweight limit for this one. It'll be in between it, light heavy, catch weight, whatever. But like that, very very easy. I think boxers at a good level, no matter what you eat, you're in a calorie deficit. You could eat 3 snack boxes a day and you'd still be in a calorie deficit because we're doing so much. Um, but yeah, definitely, like, loads more foods. But it's not just loads more foods, it's loads of the right foods, getting the right vitamins in that I wasn't getting in, and just fueling myself in the right way. Um, like that. Obviously, I wasn't on it for the whole camp. Now we're cutting back on foods and we're chipping away at the weight. So I still know there's a fight coming up. still feels like I'm coming into fight week hungry and tired. But even though I'm tired, I'll still sparring in the morning, and I'll still have all that energy because I'm just firing on all cylinders now. Simple as.
So obviously, in some ways, obviously, you're hitting PBs. Obviously, you've more obviously energy and everything else. So, effectively, obviously next week in Liverpool, when obviously if Ukrainian opponent on the opposite side of you, we should see the best Kevin Cronin yet. Then is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, I've no excuse not to have the best Kevin Cronin there next week. There's zero excuse going off of the recent history with this camp, just the last few weeks, everything that's going on, the way it's coming down. There's no reason for it. Even usually my last few spars are usually poor enough because of the chipping the weight down so fast, trying to get the weight off and just dead in there, and it's not happening. I'm chipping the weight, but my body still has the right fuel, and then still firing out cylinders. So like, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. And I know I say this watching your man, look, he's losing record, but it's very, very hard. And is a deceiving fighter as well. Joe that doesn't get stopped. So like, chances are I'm going to 6 rounds. He's going to, if I get him out of there, then it's one hell of a statement. But yeah, I definitely think I'd go out on a limb and say it's going to be the best Kevin Cronin in there. And take my word for it and come back to me and tell me I was wrong afterwards if you want.
Do you have the added pressure obviously now, when obviously you have Conlan boxing, in particular your Michael Conlan's obviously first signing, you're fighting in DAZN and stuff as well. Like, is there extra pressure that you put on yourself with that to perform at your best, or is it just the fact that you have to perform at your best so you can keep getting these opportunities?
I did in America. I put a lot of pressure on myself, just thinking, oh, Joe, whatever, Mick's watching, Joe, after signing me, I have to perform. I had all this going on in my head, even when I was in the ring. Even going back to the corner after the first round, I was thinking, was that a bad round, Joe? And I watched it back, and it wasn't. It was, Jesus, I came out at 100 miles an hour, and I held a serious pace for the whole round, and completely outboxed. But I remember going back at the first round, and it was in my head, and I was like, I'm after doing a bad round now, and he's there watching me, Joe. And I don't know why he was doing that, but again, it's a little bit of experience, I guess. Probably didn't know the lads as well, then more comfortable and everything around them now. And obviously, the way I said my progression has been going, I'm confident in being in there with the best in the world. So like, it doesn't matter who's ringside. I know I can put the performance in. So no pressure going into me or going on me going into the next fight. Just everything to gain. Because the eyes of the world are there, just and DAZN all around the world. So there's going to be eyes from all around the world tuned into DAZN from different parts of the world, and it's my opportunity to capture them eyes and get people wanting to follow Kevin Cronin. I want to put in a performance against this fellow where they're saying, "Geez, they don't do that to that fella," kind of thing.
Definitely. Well, look, obviously, thank you very much for your time. Obviously, enjoy your last 10 days, sort of, having to eat what obviously you're sort of forced to eat. Obviously, I'm sure you'll get something chewing gum. I'm sure you'll get something nice to eat. Obviously on Friday after you've weighed in. Obviously, enjoy obviously fighting in DAZN next week. We'll obviously be tuned in, watching out for it. We'll no doubt catch up with you very soon.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.